because we got to make sure you can hear.
Oh yeah, loud and
Yeah,
clear, buddy.
you should be straight though. What's going on, Mike?
What's good with it?
Hey man, it's a busy day.
Always.
This has definitely been a busy work day, which we'll talk about. A lot of news that came down today, depressing in some cases,
Yeah.
in other cases, hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if we could get to it. But Some Dude Pod 136. Make sure you rate, like, subscribe, download wherever you get your favorite podcast. Go ahead and get your merch. I think we got to talk to Sparks, for a 2.0.
Let's do it.
I was thinking about that the other day.
Sparks, he corporate now though. Hey, you might have to get in line, but he's corporate.
See. I
Shout out to the homie. Shout out to the homie DJ Sparks, who's the official creator of the Some Dude Pod logo. He just launched his official website for his company called Design Lab. So yeah, if y'all want to get up with DJ Sparks for any type of website designs, logo designs, all of that, y'all get up with him, and he'll take care of you, and tell him we sent you. He might give you a discount.
That was a great advertisement right there. That was
indeed.
He's not even a sponsor of this podcast. But
he's not, but we go look out for our people. You know what I'm saying?
Some dude pod is
make sure you clip this and you send it to him. You know what I'm saying?
Some Dude Pod is brought to you in part by Design Lab.
Design Lab.
DJ Sparks.
We get
quality websites, logos, merch, etc. Just log on to Design Labs. What's the website?
Should be designlabs.com. Let me I'll get back to y'all on that. Maybe
because
on the end of the show. We don't want to
mess up the advertising. We don't want to mess that up. A lot of stuff went on. I'm gonna start with the good stuff. Because I didn't get a chance to hit you back because it was so busy. But I went to my first WWE Big Four pay-per-view.
My nigga, y'all shit was lit. I'm jealous.
Went to my first Big Four pay-per-view. SummerSlam was in Nashville. Shouts out to Camp from the Port this weekend. And man, I just got my voice back too.
Okay.
That's the other part too. Just got my voice back. It was extremely lit. Brock Lesnar decided to bring a tractor down and lift up the ring on part of the match. A couple of a re-debut with Becky Lynch coming back and Edge coming back to the Brood entrance. Dakota Kai, who we thought was no longer with the company, is back with the company. The internet was saying that Io Shirai was going to leave the WWE, but look at that. Triple H is in power, and everybody wants to come back and stay.
Hey,
so shouts out to Paul on that one. But it was definitely a dope experience.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, I saw a lot of weirdos.
Of course.
A lot of versions.
I've been to my fair share of WWE events, and I've been to a couple premiums, and they out there. So, no doubt.
Yeah. It was funny because when Bobby Lashley came up, I had the whole backside where we was at yelling Vice Lord.
There you go.
And I'm not even a Vice Lord, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. We are familiar with the gangbanging culture, you know what I'm saying? Because you know how it get down in Chicago. So we are very familiar with that. So it's all good.
Contrary to popular belief.
Yeah.
Shouts out to my man 7-1, who I'll be hosting this event on the 24th.
Okay.
Contrary to popular belief, I am a neutron. But when Bobby Lashley came out there, I threw it up, and that every black person on that backside was like, "Oh, okay,
yes, sir.
Y'all see what we see."
Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah, it's like that. So that was hilarious. Man, it was just overall. And Nashville is lit.
Okay, I've heard stories about Nashville.
I did not know, fam. I did not know. Like it's music as soon as you get off the plane, G.
Yeah.
Like as soon as you get off the plane, you hear a live band.
How far is Nashville from Memphis?
About an hour or two, probably.
Okay.
Probably about an hour or two. But yeah, it's like as soon as you get off the plane, you hear somebody singing some dope ass country music.
Yeah.
And then Broadway is the street. Broadway is the place. Like everybody, Kid Rock got a bar. Jason Aldean has a bar. Florida Georgia Line has a bar. Everybody in country music has a bar, and they all be lit with live performances. It's the party capital of the world, of the United States, excuse me. But also it is the bride party capital of the world. If you are a single man, Nashville is great for you. Okay. Let me just say that. If you are a single man, Nashville is the place for you.
Yeah.
Especially if you have bridesmaids who are trying to get down while they are out of town. Nashville is the place for you.
Okay.
We were on the WWE party bus. No.
Yeah. Did you have to buy tickets for that too?
No. So that's what I was gonna explain. We was on the party bus. Shouts out to Krista. She called the people. It was an advertisement bus. So basically, they were, paid by WWE to push SummerSlam and shit. So it was just that. It wasn't like everybody get on the party bus and drink, but it was a party bus, and we got on there and you know me, I ain't gonna go nowhere and not work if it's there.
Facts.
So it's like, yo, I'm on y'all bus. I help y'all out. I throw these Roman Reigns lays and throw these light up hats and all of that. Yeah. So we're at the spot where they did the tryouts. They also did the Undertaker's live show as like the Wild Horse Saloon or something like that on like 4th and Broadway.
Yeah.
So they're throwing out lays and they're throwing out their hats, and one of the ladies on the bus said, "Hey, do y'all know any WWE trivia?" Do I?
What?
Grab me the mic. Grab me the mic. Now, mind you, we have on our first Black Champ joints.
For sure.
So we rapping, and we're on the bus asking questions. You win, you get a lay. You win, you get a hat, and all of those things. And then next thing you know, me and Camp out there working on the bus, man. We working on the bus, but we got the brand on, so we cool.
Yeah.
We do so much of a good job that the next day they like, yo, can y'all come back?
Yeah.
This time we was like, you got to hit the Cash App in order for that to happen.
Yeah.
Got to hit the Cash App in order for that to happen. But that was lit. Shouts out to our man Travell for winning the tickets. We had gave away some tickets. Pulled the joint out the hat. He won.
Nice.
And I mean that can only happen in Nashville, but Nashville shocked me, fam.
Yeah.
It shocked me. It's lit. They have a food court, fam, that's not really a food court.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a food court with a whole bunch of restaurants.
Yeah.
But it's not a mall. It's just one big ass food court. And they have some fire-ass tacos in that joint too.
Okay.
They had some gourmet tacos. I didn't see the taco place. The gourmet tacos was decent or whatever. Yeah. But then when I walked around and I saw a Mexican lady, I said, "Hey, I'm getting me some more tacos."
There you go.
Got the tacos. Tacos was fire. They got a lot of fire tacos in Nashville too. Like that was surprising to me as well. So good drink, fun time. Women,
for sure.
Party buses,
for sure.
And like we was on the bus, and it's like every time you turned around, it was white women trying to drop it low.
Yeah,
on a party bus. That was if it was anything that was the funniest part of Nashville, it was white women on a party bus.
Yeah,
trying to drop it low. And every time they went past, I laughed.
Yeah.
It was Flow Rider playing or Save a Horse Rider. I didn't realize how much white people love Flow Rider until Nashville.
Ooh. Come on now. Flow Rider is like.
I knew white people love Flow Rider.
Look,
I
man.
just didn't know how much until every time I saw a party bus, it was getting low, 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 and then you had a white girl popping like
that is
"Hey,
this. It's like
hey."
I think we gave the white people Flow Rider. Like, here,
Yeah,
y'all can
we
have
did.
him, and they embrace him.
Yeah, once Flow Rider hit, what Flow Rider was in an episode of Ellen, I
Yeah,
knew it was a wrap. He was on the episode of Ellen. I was like, yo, Flow Rider's gone, Jack. He's
Yeah,
not
man.
coming back.
he out of here.
It's done.
Shit,
yeah.
Flow Rider had a which Flow Rider record was the theme song for one of the WrestleManias
It was
a couple
I
years
don't
ago, a
know.
few years ago.
I know what you're talking about. I just
Yeah,
don't
but
know
Flow
so-
Rider out of there, bro.
he was involved in a
Yeah.
in a little segment and everything. But no, white women
Yeah,
love Low by Flow Rider. That
For
is
sure.
like that. If I heard one song more than anything in Nashville, it was Low by Flow Rider. So
Mhm.
he's getting change
For sure.
out there. But it was lit, man. And shouts out to Nashville, man. I told the wife she would love it. So, you know, we gonna make sure that we take a trip down there. She'll love it down there. You know, hey. Now, one thing I was scared of, Mike, was monkeypox. A lot of shit going on in the world, Mike.
Yeah, I see the monkeypox thing is going crazy right now. Obviously we got states that are like under a state of emergency because of the monkeypox. I mean, what are we doing right now? Is this COVID 2.0?
National
Is
emergency.
COVID 3.0? What are we
It's-
doing here? Like, is this another? Are we shutting down? I mean,
I don't see
what's going on with the monkeypox, man. I mean, first of all, if anybody, I mean, can you give me a little more insight on monkeypox? I mean, I know it's a thing, but like, what exactly is the monkeypox? I don't think I've ever known anybody to have it or came across anybody that's ever had it before.
Let me find this joint. Hold on for a second, because for working, you know, I had to edit a video with Dr. Fauci.
Mm-hmm.
And Dr. Fauci had talked about it. Let's see if I can pull this up so we can learn what monkeypox is from the dude who is like the head doctor of the world or the United States. Hold on for a second. Let's see.
Pox before. Have you dealt with that before?
You know, monkeypox is fundamentally a disease that was endemic for a bit following the discontinuation of the smallpox vaccination. Smallpox and monkeypox are similar in the kind of virus it is. Obviously, smallpox is a much more severe disease is monkeypox. But the time when the world was being vaccinated for smallpox, it had the secondary collateral positive effect of protecting populations against monkeypox. But when we eradicated smallpox, they discontinued the vaccinations around 1977, 1980 for smallpox. And monkeypox arises in animals and then spreads to humans. It doesn't spread under most circumstances very effectively in the sense of human to human. It's mostly animal. But right now, if it gets essentially into a population in which, for example, for sexual networks or what have you, that any close skin-to-skin contact can lead to the spread of this disease. And right now we're having a very difficult situation, not only in this country, but literally throughout the world, where you have an outbreak in more than 80 separate countries of monkeypox, where you have almost 3,500 confirmed cases in the United States. You have close to 19,000 confirmed cases in 82 non-endemic countries. And by non-endemic countries, I mean countries other than where it is essentially there and has been there for a while, generally going from animals to human, and that's in Central and West Africa.
Okay.
Now you're in countries throughout Europe and throughout the world, so it's something we really need to take seriously. It's predominantly in the non-endemic countries among men who have sex with men, like 99% of the cases are in that demographic group.
All right, so basically, He said all that to say, I don't know what the fuck it is. Because I still don't know. You know,
like
it's
chickenpox on steroids or something.
It sounds like smallpox on steroids because he didn't say chickenpox. See,
Okay.
Have you had the chickenpox before?
I had the chickenpox when I was maybe like second grade.
How did you get the chickenpox?
And I remember, I don't
like.
honestly,
did you go to somebody else?
Okay, so no.
Somebody else. Go ahead.
No, so for based off what I know, the
Mhm.
chickenpox was something that all people caught. It don't now 9 times out of 10, the percentage of people that catch it, like a high percentage of people that catch it when they were shorties. That's what I was always told. So I don't think I caught it from anybody. I always thought it was just something that like it just happened. Like, oh yeah, you got the chickenpox. Well, it's just your time. You got chickenpox, to the 2 weeks. Use the calamine lotion, and then you'll be all good to go. And my brother had it. He was a shorty. And that was it. So I don't know if I caught it from anybody, but I definitely remember having it. And I have chickenpox. I still have.
But not my nose.
Yeah,
my nose. Dot on my nose. Dot on my nose.
Right here. I think that's that right there. If you looking close,
Okay,
you see on that was chickenpox right there.
The dot on my nose is chickenpox. I scratched it off, and that's why my cousin Derek calls me pimple nose.
Yeah.
He called me pimple nose because I got this dot in my damn nose.
It's there forever, baby.
And when I was little, he's like, "Oh, pimple nose, black pimple nose." Like, yeah. So yeah, that was his theme of calling me that when I was little. No, I don't know how I caught it.
Yeah, I don't remember neither.
I don't know how I caught it. I know when I did catch it.
It was when you were shorty, though, right?
Yeah, I was in kindergarten.
Yeah.
But I know when I did catch it, my mama friend was like, "Lee got the chicken pox. I'm bringing my kids over." What?
She wants them to get it right now.
Go ahead, get it right
out
now.
The way. Get it out the way.
I'm sitting up here playing and that thing with them, and she make sure you play with Lee like I'm the outbreak monkey, but you want him to get sick. Go play with Lee, and then next thing you know, like a couple of weeks later, they got the chicken pox. It's like I wasn't sick or nothing.
Nope.
I just had things all around me.
You was itching, bro.
Just itching. The calamine lotion on me, and it was stings all on me. And I had it on my nose, and my mom was like, "Don't scratch it." Boom, dimple in my nose. That's all I knew.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now, the smallpox joint, as far as I knew from history class, smallpox was something that was hitting people up early and getting them up out of there in like the 1800s or whatever, and then, or the 1900s, one of them, they get the vaccine, it's good. I didn't know. I didn't even realize they was like, about 80, they was like, all right, ain't no more smallpox. We out of here.
Yeah.
Now we got but monkeypox was
being
taken care of with smallpox.
Let me ask you this though. So is smallpox, is that something like were we taking vaccines for smallpox? Like when we got to go to school and shit like that, when we get our shots, was any of those shots for like to vaccinate for that?
Gee, I don't remember the smallpox vaccine.
Yeah, I don't remember
tetanus and polio.
Yeah.
I remember polio and tetanus and some other one, tetanus.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I said tetanus like the round thing on here. Now I don't remember tetanus. I don't remember smallpox joints.
Nah.
Maybe we need to get them again. I don't know. But monkeypox, like, one thing I wish that would have been answered is, can you die from monkeypox? Can you die? And see, the other thing is, all of these things happening, and then you got monkeys in Japan messing with grown, like old people and kids.
Yeah. I'm
telling you, if you watch the reboot of Planet of the Apes, it looks like they were right. Because my man got sick. When my man got sick, they was trying to do trying to cure Alzheimer's and shit.
Mm-hmm.
My man got sick. They gave it to the monkeys or the gorillas.
Yeah.
The apes, they was lit. One of them started talking.
Mm-hmm.
They became smarter. We stopped being able to talk.
Yeah.
My man got on the plane, infected everybody who infected everybody who infected everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, Charlton Heston, he flew somewhere. He come back. Now the apes running the joint. 2035. Don't be surprised.
Oh my God.
Don't be Mike. In
I'm-
2035, don't be
but-
surprised.
But as far as like, am I concerned or worried
concerned about
about? I
monkeypox?
mean,
Are you scared of monkeypox?
not really. I don't know yet. I don't know if it's anything because I haven't seen anybody around me, or I haven't really heard much about it in my area. Or I think when I think I would get
gonna get monkeypox.
it gotta like kind of cross the path. Gotta
Imagine if somebody in Maywood. Imagine the
I gotta
hysteria.
hear about a case of monkeypox
Mike,
and what happens to somebody.
Imagine the
before I get
hysteria.
it.
Mike, imagine the hysteria if somebody in Maywood gets monkeypox.
Look, man.
It'll be hysteria,
Please.
fam.
Please, nobody.
Fuck you mean he got monkeypox?
Please.
Oh, hell no. The
Yeah.
whole block gonna get shot.
Oh my God. I don't know though, bang. I'm good for now as long as I'm looking at a picture of somebody, but oh my God, bro. Is people out here like really got this shit on their body, bro?
Yeah.
Is people die? Are we heard any like cases like
I've
people
not heard
dying
of a
from
death.
no deaths yet, right?
I've never heard of a death of monkeypox. I've never heard of a death of chickenpox.
I think
it's-
I've heard of that.
Let me get my conspiracy theory hat on, Mike.
Well, before you do that, I always heard that it was worse for adults to get chickenpox than it was for shorties. Like I heard it was bad for. That's a myth. It's a myth. It's one of those myths that it's bad if you caught chickenpox when you was an adult. It was bad for you. Like you could die from chickenpox if you catch that shit at an older age.
Do you? Let me ask this question. Let me get my conspiracy theory hat on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think this is the government trying to scare us?
See, that's the I don't believe. No, when you hear when I hear shit like that, bro. No, I don't believe none of that. I don't believe those conspiracies. You mean scare us like how? Like telling us like what are they trying to scare us with?
I don't
What
know.
is the point? Nah, I don't believe anything. I don't believe in that kind of
This
conspiracy.
is not a scare tactic.
A scare tactic to what is the end game for the scare tactic?
They want to take our guns.
They want us to stay in the house.
They want to take our guns.
So we're gonna make up like monkeypox outbreak. That's what we doing right now.
They're trying to make it up.
Bullshit. Nah, I don't
They
believe
want
none
to
of
take
that.
our money.
Is there people out here really on the street saying that shit?
Probably.
Like this is the government, bro? This is the government. Nah.
You sure?
Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see that being like, oh my God.
Making
I would think they
bro.
would come up with another COVID variant before they come up with monkeypox. Trying to.
I mean, the BA2?
Is that another variant that's out right now?
Yeah, that's the one that's out right now. That's the one that's the COVID variants come out like Jordans.
Check this out, man. Like, at this point, fam,
with the COVID 5.
My two vaccinations, my booster, and God, they the ones that got me. so
when the monkeypox vaccine comes, you taking that?
Fuck it, bro. Why not, fam? Why not at this point? I'm just If I can't get into your facility without getting it, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just do it, bro.
Mike, you know there's somebody right now. There's somebody right now who's listening to this pod, and they're gonna be like, "Yo, these cats talking about taking the monkeypox vaccine.
When it gets,
whenever
it gets,
they're gonna be zombies."
Hey, look, when it gets approved and they say it's good for us to take, I'm taking it. If I gotta take it, I'm just gonna take it. I was against the COVID. I was against the vaccine, the COVID vaccine. But I'm 2 times vaccinated with a booster. So they just shot me 3 times. So I'm gonna just go ahead and get this shit, bro. Just go ahead and get it,
I don't know
man.
about the monkeypox joint.
Just go ahead and get it, bro.
I don't know. I'm gonna be shocked as hell at first. Well, I'm in the suburbs, so maybe. I'm in out here, so maybe. But if I was in the hood, I don't think I would get the monkeypox vaccine. I don't think.
Honestly, I don't really see this being something like.
I don't foresee a lot of hood cases of monkeypox.
I don't think so either, bro. This is some white people shit, bro.
I don't know if it's that. I saw 3 black people have it on social. So
for real? They posting that they got it on social. They showing it like.
We just saw a black dude. Hold on, man. Hold on. Let me see if I can find this joint, man. Because he's an African American male, Mike.
Okay. Well,
African Male, Mike. He
but
got monkeypox.
But all jokes aside, though, I don't really, I'm not concerned right now.
Let me see if I can find this video, man. Yeah.
I gotta see the outbreak like go crazy for me to be concerned.
Hold on, man. Let me go ahead and share this joint again, because we need to know that monkeypox does affect African American communities.
Okay.
Hold on, let's Let's see what Buddy is.
I
talking
thought
about.
the
There we go.
basically I had a fever, right?
It's right on
The
the top.
fever, I thought the fever was the cold sore I had on my lip was from a fever. Went to my primary health doctor. They gave me penicillin because they said, "Oh, you look like you got strep throat, so you got a fever from it." All right. Went home and then I went to sleep. Woke up and then the thing that was on my lip was black. Was on my private part, and I said, "Oh no, there ain't no cold sore,
Whoa.
and there ain't no herpes because I don't do anything sexually to get bad." So I went to the hospital. They said that's giving monkeypox. It looked like monkeypox. So basically, now I'm here quarantining. Have a bump here, a new bump there, a bump there, a bump here,
Nah.
and my butt cheek and my private part. And the private part of what made me go to the hospital because I'm like, no way, no way, no hold no Jose. No Jose.
Oh my god.
Hey,
fam.
man, I don't mean.
Oh my god. Yo, this shit got me itching, bro. I'm over here scratching my arm and shit, fam.
I
Yo,
don't
why
mean
you
to
do
laugh. I don't mean to laugh, but listen to his thinking.
See,
It
bro,
was
it got
on
me
his lip.
snaps.
Gee, it was on his lip.
That shit on his lip.
It was
had some
on
shit
his
lip.
body. And his ass was like, "Oh, it's on my dick. It's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to go."
Oh my
Whoa,
god,
whoa,
bro.
whoa, bro.
I'm good.
No.
Nah,
As soon as
man.
it pop, as soon as a bump pop right here, fam, I'm scared of herpes. Not even thinking about monkeypox, fam. Like, who got me? Then he starts seeing on your body. It's like, yo, you gonna start looking around like, yo, hold on, fam. Hold on, fam.
Yeah.
Wife, what you been doing?
What you
Because I
been
know I ain't been doing that. You like, I ain't doing nothing. You don't see nothing on my lip. What you been doing?
Yeah.
Look at your dick. Be like, oh, no.
Nah.
Oh, no. I'm gonna go to the doctor. Bruh, man, that was scary.
Yeah, that video just
living
made me
daylights.
start. That video just made me start itching all over my body,
Yeah,
bro.
that was.
Yeah, but
that
other
was
than
good.
I'm for now I'm good, bro. We shielded, bang. We are protected. I'm manifesting that for us that we are
Alright.
protected from the bullshit.
Hashtag
right?
Shando.
So yeah,
Thank
we
you. Pray. And man, some dude quiet. We got to get to the biggest story of the day. Now, biggest story of the day: Brittany Griner was found guilty after pleading guilty. They still went on with the case. That's what they do in Russia. And she was officially found guilty on drug charges. She had a vape, and they charged her, amongst other charges, smuggling.
Yep.
You know, don't think that's what she was trying to do, but she was charged with she was found guilty of smuggling drugs into the community, into the country. She faced up to 10 years. They gave her 9. She did plead her case to the judges and everything. She expressed her sorrow to Russia, to a Russian team, to a WNBA team, her friends, her family. She asked for mercy, and the court was like, "Nah, we're not giving you mercy." In Russia, is to be noted that Russia and the United States does not have the best relationship in the world. There's currently some things going on in Ukraine, as we all know, a war that is going on that Russia is very much involved in. They are invading Ukraine. And the United States are, while not fighting on the side of Ukraine, are giving the country money and weapons to fight back. So a lot of people believe that, that Brittany is a political prisoner, that she's being held for political reasons. Now, just to give context, this was expected. The years was expected in Russian jail, and the only way a prisoner swap, which United States and Russia are currently discussing right now, the only way a prisoner swap will be able to happen is once she is found guilty and sentenced. So this possibly could expedite that process. The United States has offered the who they call the Merchant of Death, Mike, the Merchant of Death. That is Victor Bout.
Mhm.
And Victor Bout actually was the subject of the movie Lord of War, I believe, the Nicolas Cage movie.
Okay.
He's a huge arms dealer across the United States. I mean, across the world, a huge arms dealer. He's been in jail for a number of years in the United States. Russia, like, we want him. If you want to do any swap, the United States has offered him for Brittany Griner, and I believe my man is Joe Weldon, Whalen, something like that. But he was a teacher who was sentenced to 14 years in a Russian prison because he had drugs on him. They said that he was planning on giving the drugs to kids, Mike. But then I saw a report.
Keep him over there.
I mean, he wasn't though.
Wait, he said he planned on. Is that true? Or that's not true?
No, that's not true.
Okay, it's not true. Okay, if it's true, keep him over.
I mean, as far as we know, it's not true.
Okay, go ahead.
As far as we know, it's not true.
If my man was going to distribute the drugs to shorties, keep him over there. Y'all can have him. We don't want him. He's but go ahead.
Right. But Greener was found guilty today, and hold on, my bad. I was trying to get all of the right information, so I won't be getting the wrong information. But yeah, Victor Bout is the merchant of death. He's in jail right now. Experts are calling for the United States to make the deal, but reportedly, Russia's like, nah, we want more. We want more. I'm reading from theguardian.com right now. The guilty, again, is a foregone conclusion and a necessary step for the prison exchange. Officials say that Russia is seeking to exchange Griner and Weldon with Victor Bout. A lawyer for Weldon told The Guardian that the final agreement did not seem to be reached. Russia has already exchanged Trevor Reed, who's a former Marine who was arrested in Moscow for a pilot who was convicted on a drug smuggling conviction. His name is Konstantin Yaroshenko.
Mm-hmm.
Look at me trying to read these Russian names. They did the exchange in Turkey. So in this case, they're saying that Russia's like, look, we want somebody else to make this even.
Yeah.
Let me get on my soapbox real quick, Mike.
Yo, we don't have any Russian prisoners here. Like, I know we
just gave up one.
I know we got more.
Yeah, we got a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we got a lot. Let me get on my soapbox here.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I'm not gonna be one of those people that get up on these platforms, get on TV, and not understand the trick bag that the United States is in. This is a trick bag, Mike.
Yeah.
This is the biggest trick bag that I know in these situations.
Mm-hmm.
Brittany Griner had drugs on her, and she tried to go home.
For sure.
And I'll tell you now, Mike, I am scared to leave the country for these types of reasons. Like, for me to leave the country, I got to know what they own and what they do.
For sure.
Right. And for her to visit that country many times because she plays basketball there as well, you know, it's fucked up that she would forget that those are in her bag, and she gets in trouble for it. I'm not gonna be one of those people that get on here and like, yo, she did the crime, so she got to do the time. I'm not gonna do that. I'm simply understanding Russian law and what they do compared to what we do. And Mike, I've learned today that the United States and all the races within the United States are either to use the term arrogant. I'll just say they're arrogant. We can't expect a country that don't like us to abide by our rules.
Facts.
We saw this with the Sha'Carri Richardson situation. It's not an American thing. It is a world thing. And the world does not view drugs like we do. Do I think they should? Yes. But I'm not from Russia. I don't know what they do.
And let me piggyback off that too. Like you said, I agree with you 100%. I'm not on the she do the crime, she do the time. I'm also not on the it's just weed. Bring her home. Like you said, our rules, our laws are totally different from other countries' laws. And what I advise people to do is before you travel, read up on these type of things.
Man,
Use this as an example. Read up. If you're going to another country, if you're going to China, if you're going to Australia, even if you're going to Puerto Rico or Dominican Republic, Mexico, all of those, you know what I'm saying, countries that's really close to us that we can, that's normally vacation spots, read up on that shit, read up on their laws so you don't get caught up in one of these type of situations. Bruh. And also, and also I'm gonna say this too. Russia ain't fucking around. And I think that we need to be more mindful. The United States needs to be more mindful, and they need to listen to what the fuck Russia is saying, because Russia is telling y'all, and we need to stop saying, I also agree with Russia on this. Russia came out with a report and said that the United States needs to stop saying that she's wrongfully detained. Stop using that term wrongfully. Everybody that comes out with these statements, the WNBA, the NBA, the commissioner, or the president, everybody keeps saying that she's wrongfully. That word wrongfully is making Russia look like that we just snatching up motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's making Russia mad. It's
making Russia.
That's the one thing that I've learned. That's one thing I learned. Like, they already don't like you, and then they're like, yo, we arrested her for no reason at all. She's not in jail. No, she's not in, she's in jail. She's not out because she's in jail because of our rules. It's like, the way that I see this, and I'm not trivializing it, it's really the way that I see it, is that I can't go on the south side and do the same shit that I do on the west side.
Facts.
And vice versa. Because there's somebody that's over there that might not know who I am, and it's probably going to want to take care of me.
Yeah. So,
and so when I, so
go ahead.
Because when I look at my timeline, right, I see a lot of Team America World Police. Like, I see, here's one thing that I can say about conservatives and these white nationalists. And I can understand why they're like, yeah, your ass thought it was sweet. I am not a person that celebrates the 4th of July and be around here with the red, white, and blue and everything. But I understand where I live at. And I understand that I probably wouldn't make it in some other places, Russia included. So I appreciate the liberties that I have here, because you ain't got them joints elsewhere. I can tell you that I don't like X, Y, and Z, but other than that, we good. So when you start seeing people, and I am not saying that Brittany Griner is one of those people. She had her thoughts about kneeling and everything like that. I agree. We got that right and everything. This ain't towards her. This is towards people who will literally get on social media and be like, fuck America and all those things. But then in the same breath, be like, no, Brittany Griner should go home. It don't work like that, ladies and gentlemen. Because what these white nationalists are telling you is, and they're probably right on it, is that, hey, you hate us? Take your ass to Russia. Watch what they do to your ass. Because I'm sorry, the other reason why I'm scared to go to other countries, Mike, is I don't think they like me. And by me, I mean this. My skin color. I am not saying that Brittany Griner got 9 years because she's a black gay woman, because there's a white man that is in jail right now, as I said, for smuggling. They said that man was going to try to give drugs to kids. What I'm saying is that when it comes to situations like this, we all become Team America. Yeah. It's like Chicago when Chicago goes out of town. I might not like you here, but when we go out of town, let's make sure that we link up. So if it go down, I got your back.
And I say this too, though. If I'm traveling, I didn't even lie to you. Like, Russia wouldn't even be at the top of my list of vacationing spots even before this, and even knowing like what the laws and shit is, you know what I'm saying, and everything like that, as far as like what's going on over there in Russia, I ain't picking Russia to just be like, yeah, I want to go to Russia. Yeah, let's do Russia as a vacation spot. No, Russia is not at the top of my list, and at this point, probably not even gonna make my list at all of traveling spots. So I feel you on that shit 100%. Like, I ain't gonna say that like other countries don't fuck with us though. I think we might be good if we go to like,
Bruh.
I think we good in Japan, bro. We ain't good in Japan.
Bruh, I don't trust it.
We ain't good in China.
I
fam.
don't trust, fam. Look,
They love Chris
as-
Tucker over there,
Mike,
man.
as a black man, I don't trust it in no situation, fam.
We ain't good in Australia.
Let's say single black man. Say I'm a single black man. I go to Japan, right?
Yeah.
Because my cousin used to be over there.
Yeah.
Let's say, yo, when he first go, we all go over there, and he like, yo, no, Japanese girl over there looking at you, fam. She said you look like Biggie. All right, cool. And I go stain said girl, and she says I rape her. I know I did.
You fucked.
I'm fucked.
Well,
And
then
I'm not
just know
American. And wait a minute, I'm not American fucked. I'm Japan fucked. Because now I don't know the language, Mike.
Yeah.
I don't know the language. I don't know what they do. I could go up in this jail and I'm 5'11", 6 foot, 300 pounds, Mike. They might go up in there, some dude look like Bolo might come and whoop my ass. I don't know. They might cane me. I don't know. They might got to cut my shit off.
They might got the death penalty over there for
rape.
rape.
They might got the death penalty for rape.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I know is I didn't rape her. It's her word against mine, and I don't speak the language. Some Japanese dude gonna be my doggone lawyer. He gonna, hey, I'm going to help you. Next thing you know, I'm in jail for life. I was afraid for Freddie Gibbs, and I don't even know that man. He was in a European jail for rape.
Yep.
I know he was in that mark shitting bricks. Jail ain't like Handmaid's Tale in some places, fam. Watch the Handmaid's Tale. They was in jail in the Handmaid's Tale. They was walking around.
Where was A$AP Rocky at when he got arrested?
He was in Switzerland, fam.
Switzerland. Yeah. Switzerland ain't at the top of my list neither.
No, Switzerland I would think it's a neutral place. Switzerland is supposed to be neutral, G. I'm saying, it's supposed to be. But when you black, is it really that? That's all I'm saying.
So you said we get targeted. So you said we get targeted everywhere.
Bro, what I'm saying is if I don't know the language and I don't know how y'all feel about African Americans, I might not go.
I feel you.
I might not go. It is like, okay, I give you the U.S. example, G. I will give you the U.S. example. Going to jail in Mississippi compared to going to jail in somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Mississippi jails and Louisiana jails are terrible. You never want to go to jail there. I'm not saying you want to go to jail at all, but if you are in America, you don't want to go to jail for none of that.
Mm-hmm.
None of that, Mike. That's like that. So I'm going to be extra prepared I'm not bringing Hennessy White home, Mike.
Okay.
That's how scared I am.
So you ain't bringing it back because this motherfucker's
I'm not bringing it back.
Y'all stop doing that. Y'all stop doing that.
That's how scared I am of going to places that I'm not from. I'm not taking Hennessy White with me. I am going to drink it where I'm at. Hey, did you bring some Hennessy White? No, because I don't want to smuggle or nothing. I don't trust nothing that don't look like me or talks like me.
Hey, just imagine if Iman got caught over there in Russia.
Woo!
That boy ain't coming home.
Cooked, fam. So all I'm saying is Mike, is on TV, they're not going to talk about the trick bag. They're going to talk about how it's sad and she's a political prisoner and wrongfully
I don't know. I lost.
Oh, that's my bad. That was one of the chords. But no, let me say this again. If it didn't get hurt. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me
we
do this. Say something, Mike.
Yo, you
There we go.
Well, yeah, we go. There we go.
I can hear you now.
All right,
All right.
bet.
Let's do this again.
Yeah.
If I can't talk your language, I'm going to be nervous. TV is not going to talk about the trick bag.
Yeah.
Let's also be real. It's American television. She is an American person. It's going to be pro-American. I don't know unless it's Fox News. I don't know no outlet who's going to go on their television and say she should be in jail and she getting everything that she deserves. It's probably was going to be from Fox News because of some of the things that she said about kneeling the flag and all of that stuff. I am not saying that. I am not saying that she should not be that she should be in jail. But I'm also saying that because I am an American and I know American rule, like how we feel about these things compared to everybody else. Because it's a trick bag that I'm going to talk about, which irritates me. It's probably the most irritating about this when it comes to politicians. But Brittany Griner should be home. She should not get 9 years for this shit. But I'm going off of what I'm used to, what I know about laws, and what I think about weed and vaping and how this shit is minor. You should not get 9 years for this. But I don't know Russian law. I don't know what they're capable of doing. And I'm pretty sure that they're capable of doing more. And if they are using her to get those other people, I don't never want to be in that situation for that to happen in the first place. So I don't think she should be there, but damn, you gave them everything that they needed. Now, with that being said, I am upset with politicians about this more than anything.
Yeah.
Because you got President Joe Biden that comes up here and he's talking all this shit about how she's being held unlawfully, wrongfully detained and everything like that, blah, blah, blah. Did she have a vape pen on her? Yes. Did she have drugs on her? Yes. She's not wrongfully detained.
Y'all pissing Russia off.
Right. She's not wrongfully detained. What it is that it's trumped up charges on her. Guess what? That shit happens every fucking day, Mike. In America. In America, there's some dude right now that is getting sentenced on some trumped up charges, probably black too, maybe even gay, but getting sentenced to some wild ass years in jail because y'all trumped up the charges right now. And you gonna come on here and say all of this shit because she's in Russian jail? What about all of these non-violent offenders in the United States of America right now that is done decades in jail for small items, Mike? For small items. Now, I am not saying that Brittany Griner should do this because they got this and blah, blah, blah. No. They're two completely different situations because of where they're being jailed at. But she's being held to a standard off of trumped up charges. And there's a whole bunch of black men and people of color that are in jail for the same shit in our own country. So that's why I said politicians, not talking about me or you or anybody else that may listen to this pod. She should not be in jail, but she had the shit. But based off of what I believe about weed and about all this, no, she shouldn't be in jail. But I'm also not going to argue with Russia off of their rules. That's why it's a trade. Like, give us this shit. But I don't want to hear no politician get on front on TV and do some damn quotes about how this is wrong and she's wrongfully detained and they gave her too many years and yada, 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 when half of y'all wrote these laws to give these black men and people of color and some white men trumped up charges for small shit. There's somebody that's in jail right now that had a gram of cocaine in 1995 and they got life. Trumped up charge.
Yep.
So what the fuck you think they doing to another black person? So I don't want to hear no politician say this shit unless they say, hey, we looked at the Brittany Griner situation. This is some trumped up charges. And you know what? We looked at our own standards, and you know what? We want to scale some things back. Let's change some things. No, because there's going to be somebody else that get arrested and get some charges trumped up on them. And we ain't got the luxury of Kansas coming to Mississippi and saying, hey, let my man out of jail. Please, you know, we'll trade you a prisoner. We got a couple of people from Mississippi out here. Why don't you give you that Mississippi person for that Kansas person? No, we don't have that luxury. They don't have that luxury. So this is me really looking at the United States and saying, yo, look in the mirror and get off the bullshit. Because none of y'all really care about Brittany Griner. Y'all don't care about Brittany. Y'all care about the fact that she's famous and other famous people are saying anything. Because y'all ain't give a damn about that white dude really until it was like, all right, you know what? We got Brittany Griner. Let's go ahead and bring him on too. All right, give us those two. You knew about him. You ain't give a shit. It was like, you know what? We'll get to it when we can. Just like it is with a lot of people that are overseas right now in jail. Because I guarantee you there's a lot of people in jail that are in other countries that are American that are in there on trumped up charges because they're American. When are people gonna understand people don't like us? People don't like us, fam. And you would think that you black in these other countries. No, black people went through a lot of shit. And you know what? We sympathize with them. No, they don't like us either because 9 times out of 10, they don't like the darker shade that's in their country right now. They don't like black Marines and people in the army because we having sex with their women and they have mixed babies and then we dip. And now it's a whole bunch of mixed babies in these countries that ain't got no daddy. They don't like that. They don't like the fact how we think we run everything and how we could go in any country, Team America, World Police, and do all that. These other countries don't like us, G. Even the ones we friendly with. You think France is like, oh man, you America? My nigga. Hell no, they ain't. So you think England like, hey, you American? Oh, my nigga. No, they like, hey man, remember we used to run y'all ass? That little lucky ass fight that y'all had, man. Give it time, Joe. We're gonna take y'all ass back. No, they don't like us. And we have to understand, looking at this Brittany Griner situation, I guarantee you go to another country, they ain't even talking about this. Or if they talking about this, they saying, hey man, she did time. What she had stuff in her bag. What are y'all talking about? She need to go to jail. They don't like us. So I don't trust no country, not one country outside of America to say, hey, you know what?
I'll come over there with y'all.
We'll be light on you. Remember the little white boy? When the little white boy in the Philippines, I think it was, or some Asian country. I forgot what he did, but they caned him.
Mm-hmm.
And then they sent them home.
Yeah.
You think America was going, hey. If they didn't know the story, if it wasn't news, that boy would have got caned 5 times and then shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
It became national news, and then they brought it down to 3 and they put it on TV. It was like put it on TV. Hey, watch this, y'all. Whack up. Like, I'm not going to India and being like, yo, I'm American. I do what I want. And I'm not saying that that's what Brittany Griner did. I'm talking about the arrogance that we have when looking at this Brittany Griner situation and thinking that Russia should do what we want them to do because she should come home. It don't work like that.
That's very ignorant, and you are very misinformed.
Yeah, I don't think she should be in that joint too, but that's part of my American arrogance.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of my American arrogance that she shouldn't be over there.
Yep.
Period. And I'll take that arrogance. I realize with this Brittany Griner situation how arrogant we are when it comes to these things.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a section of us that's like, yo, we should just go up in Russia and take her. That'd be really
what?
I believe there's a section of us like, yo, why we won't go in Russia and just take her?
Is you crazy? They'll shoot you, boy.
Yes.
Fucking shoot you.
Yes. The Navy SEALs should go over there and get out. And again, I'm gonna keep saying this because I don't want to be misconstrued. I don't believe she should be in jail. She broke some laws. Was vaping. Wow. But I'm not gonna go to Russia and say that in Russia face though. I tell you that much. I'm not gonna let me get up on this plane and go to Moscow and go to a police officer. Free Brittany Griner, beat your ass out here. Free Are we gonna protest in front of the Russian embassy to say she should come home?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about here. Like, are we gonna go into the Russian embassy? Are we gonna go to the is any of us gonna go to the Russian bar in Chicago and be like, yo, we just ransacked your place because y'all sentenced Brittany Griner to prison? No, because I don't trust Russians either. Every movie I've seen it's been some big burly Russian dude
if you watch
in a leather jacket.
Any movie, TV shows, fam, they got Russians in it. Come on, man.
Yeah, they got a leather jacket, and they got a leather jacket, black pants, and a white shirt with black slick back hair. And they say some shit in Russian, they break your arm, or they shoot you, and like you have to, like you have to go to you have to hide because the Russian mafia is like, oh, that's what you own. The next thing you know, I'm doing the pod and shit. And I'm talking, and then next thing you know, whoop.
What's the Russian that fought Rocky?
Drago.
Just think of Drago, and just think of him. When you think of a Russian, just think of Ivan Drago. Okay, that's all you got to worry about. If you don't think about nothing else, just think about him and suited up motherfuckers with big ass. What DG said, M16s. Yeah. They on that in Russia, man. But yeah, to say all this, you say all that to say this, man. I hope everything works out with the sentence being handed down. With the sentence being handed down, I hope everything can be handled quietly. Russia wants to keep this as quiet as possible. We don't want all of this, all these reports to come out, and and of course, and reports about her being wrongfully detained, everything like that. At the United States, just comply with whatever Russia is telling y'all to do, so we can bring Brittany home, and then we just gonna leave it at that.
Bring her home. But here's the other trick bag, Mike. My bad.
Yeah,
because it's another part of the trick bag.
Yeah.
The other part of the trick bag, G, is simply you're trading a basketball player and a teacher for an arms dealer and a player to be named later. Mike, he's an arms dealer across the world. Think about the wars and things of that nature. He is an arms dealer, and they want us to give him for a basketball player and a teacher who was found guilty for non-violent joints. That's the other trick bag.
Yeah.
I know Biden and them like, they really want us to do this trade. Like, they really want us to do this trade. Do they know who this is?
Mm-hmm.
Did they not watch the Nicolas Cage movie?
You don't think that Russia knows who they who they would be acquiring?
No, they know. Right. They want him.
They want him, right?
They like, we want him.
Yeah.
The arms dealer, bring him to us.
Yeah.
No, they know. You look at that, but you look at it on paper. That's not a trade that would work in NBA 2K.
Oh, no, no.
An arms dealer.
Yeah.
For a teacher and a basketball player.
So United States need to be coughing up. They need to be coughing up more, is what you're saying.
No, the United States, like, look, fam, you got to give us some more.
Oh, so Russia got to cough up more.
You got to cough up some more Americans, fam. That's the trick bag. Like, come on, fam.
You think Russia gonna be with that?
No, hell, they grown because the American media are out in front talking all this shit.
Yep.
That's the trick bag. Because we Team America World Police now. That's the trick bag. Because She's a basketball player. He's a teacher. You want a dude that's an arms dealer. My man was out here selling rifles, guns, AR-15s, missiles, missile launchers, tanks, weapons.
Yeah.
To people who are guerrillas, militias, insurrectionists, wars. And he come to your country like, fam, look what I got. You trading him for a basketball player
And a team.
and a teacher
Yeah.
who had drugs for them, not for anybody else, but for their own enjoyment. You think America's sitting there like, yeah, that's a fair trade? No, they like, yo, you're going to have to give us Brittany, Whalen, them 2 other people right there looking at it. Oh, 2 more. You got to give us 5 people for dude. That's like trading That's like trading Kevin Durant to the Oklahoma City Thunder for 5 players off the bench.
Okay.
America don't want to do that trade. That they doing it. They doing that trade because of pressure, Mike.
Yeah.
Us, the American media, going in front saying, you know what? No, yeah, bring Brittany on. Biden, this is on you. Blah 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 blah. That's why they doing this, G.
Mm-hmm.
That's why. But Russia gonna be like, oh, if you wanna, you gonna have to give us this murdering dude right here, this rapist dude right here.
Yeah.
Give me another arms dealer. They got all the cards because we won't shut the fuck up
Yep.
and let them work.
Yeah.
Everybody, they need to send if they're gonna do that request, they gotta do whatever they can to get her home. They offered the trade in June. In June, Russia ain't said nothing yet. But June, July until now, it was, they not doing enough to try to get her home. We can't go on TV and be like, all right, hey,
Yep.
just to let y'all know, we offered a trade.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
This is not ESPN,
And
ladies
that's
and
what-
gentlemen.
And that's why Russia ass was like, yo, they got to shut up.
Yep.
They need to shut up. If they don't shut up, they ain't going to get nothing.
This
Just like
needs-
your mama say to you, when you ride past McDonald's, you know you're going to ride by about, your mama knows she going to ride past about 2 more. But you ride past McDonald's and you tell your mama, I want some McDonald's. And she was like, you're not getting on McDonald's. And then she tell you, you shut your ass up or you ain't gonna get nothing. That's what Russia told America. Shut up or you're not gonna get nothing. And then the offer to them 2 for dude, this whole situation is a trick bag. And the United States media is not gonna go on TV and really talk about the trick bag that she's in and what America's in and how hard it's gonna get her home. This is gonna be a process. If you were to ask me a prediction, she gonna be in that mark for another year and a half.
Ooh.
Like, I don't know how long this dude.
Ooh.
I don't know how long this other dude it was in jail before. This other cat, Paul Whalen. I'll find out as we doing this pod.
Yeah.
But I'm going off how many years he was in jail. Matter of fact, let me read this because they got the joint out. So Paul Whalen. Oh, okay. It's another dude that they said about the drugs or whatever. But this dude, my bad. Let me recant all this stuff.
Mhm.
Let me recant all this stuff. Because this dude right here is another dude that's in jail. That was in jail for 14 years. I thought it was this dude, but it's another name. But Whalen was convicted and sentenced for 16 years in a Russian prison for espionage. His lawyers believe Russia would now seek a prisoner swap. Whalen said in court that the case was a sham. They used him to influence the United States. We've proven my innocence. We've proven fabrication. It's a slimy, greasy, corrupt Russian politics. Nothing more, nothing yet less. Family members said Whalen had been told that he had been arrested to be exchanged for a Russian prisoner in the United States, mentioning Konstantin Yaroshenko, which we just talked about, who was released in turn for Trevor Reed, an American. Victor Bout or Roman Seleznev. Let me read about him. Mike. Mike. Roman Seleznev, I'm on Wikipedia, is also known by the hacker name Track2. He's a Russian computer hacker. Seleznev was indicted in the United States in 2011 and convicted of hacking into several servers to steal credit card data. His activities are estimated to have caused more than $169 million in damages to businesses and financial institutions. He was arrested in July of 2014 and sentenced to 27 years in prison for wire fraud, intentional damage to a protected computer, and identity theft. And he is the son of a member of the State Duma of Russia, which is the lower house of the Federal Assembly of Russia, which is the main government. The upper house is the Federation Council. So basically, look at this. Even more of a trick bag, Mike, because Buddy ass thought, they said the family was like, yo, they're going to go ahead and trade him for one of those people. So it wouldn't surprise me if we keep talking. Russia like, oh, you got to give us Victor Bout and Roman Seleznev for Brittany Griner and Paul Whalen. That's a trick bag.
Yeah. If I ever seen one.
And look, this is a situation where I don't envy being the president of the United States. I don't. We basically DG said we got the Chelsea Clinton of Russia. No, we don't. We got Bobby Rush's son. That's the equivalent of this.
Yeah.
This is Bobby Rush's son being arrested in Mississippi. And Bobby Rush like, yo, we'll give you a Mississippi person for an Illinois person. That'd be my son. Like, dude is responsible for $169 million of damages. Bro, this is a trick bag, fam. I don't envy it at all.
Yeah.
Brittany might be sitting for a year and a half, G. It's negotiation. And they don't mess with us like that. So as long as we get on TV and be like, yo, it's now 200 days. Now 200 days. No, it's 200 days, blah, blah, blah.
Since Brittany has been wrongfully, please don't use that word because y'all just gonna make
wrongfully. Russia's just like, she's not wrongfully detained. Like that's
yeah, man. They gotta stop it. They gotta stop it.
We're supposed to say she's supposed to say, oh, she's guilty, so let's take her home. They all don't do that with y'all prisoners.
Yeah.
So yeah, but nah, America, yeah, man. To get back to us before we move on to Freaky Sean. America, fan, we arrogant. We got to own that. We have to own that we are arrogant when it comes to us versus other countries.
DG, they definitely not finna let out. What the fuck? Hell no. You think they gonna let it get out? You gonna be over here for a while, so you can at least hoop for us and stay in shape.
She already hooped for him. She already hooped for Russia, G.
Nah, they ain't going.
I think she hooped for what? CSKA.
Yeah. Nah, that ain't. I don't think that's happening.
Man, boy, that'd be funny.
No, that would be hilarious.
That'd be wild as hell.
But I can't see it. You can play basketball.
No basketball season just
started. That's like
Yeah.
in Space Jam when they was trying to abduct Michael Jordan. He'd be like, yeah, he gonna come over here and play for us.
Right, he gonna play for us.
Nah, son.
He gonna lose each time.
He
Nah,
gonna lose to everybody.
but America, we arrogant, fan. We gotta own our arrogance. We are arrogant. We believe that like our word, our rules, our law, and then some of our rules are huff. There are many people that are in jail right now for nonviolent offenses that have been trumped up charges. So just like Brittany Griner needs to come home, they need to come home. I'm not looking at one over the other. Again, I'm just saying that these politicians, these white politicians at that, got some nerve to be up there talking about how they're wronging Brittany Griner when there's a lot of black and brown people that's out here that's being wronged and have been wronged for years. And that's what I'm saying. But bring Brittany home, fam. Do what y'all got to do. I guess I'm saying that the arms dealer and the hacker and the arms dealer and the hacker can go for Paul Whelan and Brittany Griner. That I guess I'm saying that.
Okay.
You know, we'll see what happens, but hopefully she's safe over there too, man. I will say this, and this is part of my being in fearful countries and everything. Like with her being in jail, one of my fears was like somebody gonna go up in there and break her legs or some shit. Like it's gonna be some butch Russian lesbian.
Is she
it's
being
gonna be
held,
like, I want to fight you. Like,
where is she being held? Is she held like in by herself, or is she held?
I don't think it's max. I don't think she's in maximum security prison. I'll say that, but I haven't seen or heard any articles where they said that where she's being held at. But nah, my fear, like for real, my fear has been somebody's gonna try to whoop her ass.
Could you try again?
I'll try it again. My fear, somebody gonna try to beat her ass.
Hey, she probably could box though.
She probably can, but that's my fear, man. Somebody gonna try to beat her ass in Russia and break her leg, and then she can't hoop no more. And then it's like, well, you go have her now. Like she can't do shit for us.
Yeah.
Like, look, these are all legitimate fears to me, fam. That's why you'll never see me go to these places.
Yeah.
Like, nah, nah.
For sure.
Scared of going overseas, and Brittany Griner has done nothing but enhance those fears. Between Brittany Griner's situation, hostile, and other stuff, like I'm scared of going overseas. So y'all can have it.
Understandable.
Y'all can have it. Some dude part. Let's get to this Freaky Sean. Freaky Sean was given a 6-game suspension by independent arbitrator Sue L. Robinson. Sue L. Robinson Sue L. Robinson basically used the NFL's history of doling down punishment with the the conduct policy of the NFL by giving him 6 games. But some of the things that was said was wow. One of which is Sue L. Robinson saying that this was one of the worst cases ever presented to the NFL. That's wild.
Worse in what sense? Like, in like just overall, just worse. Do you agree? Do you agree?
It's nothing for me to agree. We don't see everything that's been given to them.
I mean, based on what we know, like we know, we've heard about all of these about these. We've heard cases.
Yeah,
we've heard Greg Hardy, Ezekiel Elliott, Ray Rice, Ben Roethlisberger. You know, all of this. We've heard.
Well, Ray Rice. I mean, not Ray Rice, but Ray Lewis.
Ray Rice. Shit.
Ray Lewis allegedly killed somebody.
Hey, it don't matter. He was.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just thinking. Like,
so is Freaky Sean worse than this shit? Those things. I think it's based off. Is it based on? I think what's happening right now and why there's such a big uproar is because of the amount of civil cases that's been brought upon him.
Well, yeah, but I'm gonna go a little bit further in it. It's more than that, G. It's because I'm gonna read what she said. I'm trying to find. I'm gonna read what she said because when I read it, I said, "This is the wildest shit." I was confused that he got 6 games because of what she said. I'm gonna read what was the conclusion. The NFL may be maybe a forward-facing organization, but it's not necessarily a forward-looking one. Just as the NFL responded to violent conduct after a public outcry, so it seems the NFL is responding to yet another public outcry about Mr. Watson's conduct. At least in the former situation, the policy was changed and applied proactively. Here, the NFL is attempting to impose a more dramatic shift in its culture without the benefit of fair notice to and consistency of consequence for those in the NFL subject to the policy. Looking at the record when compared to the relevant precedent and looking forward to how this disciplinary determination might be used in the future, I find the most appropriate landing place to be as follows. Now, here's where shit got wild to me. And I was like, fam, it's like you shot somebody and somebody was like, yo, you shot him, but we normally give you 6 months, so we're going to give you 6 months. Mr. Watson is hereby suspended for 6 regular season games without pay. Although this is the most significant punishment ever imposed on an NFL player for allegations of non-violent sexual conduct. Mike, what is non-violent sexual conduct?
Non-violent sexual conduct is conduct or behavior. Is that which word?
It says conduct.
Okay, so non-violent is I would assume that that's like nothing that is not consensual. That's what I think. That's what I got out of it. Pretty much what you're saying. Anything that's non-violent sexual conduct is pretty much rape.
Fam, what
rape.
I mean, fam. Let me keep reading.
What sexual? Hold on, wait. Let me ask you. What sexual conduct can you be involved in that's non-violent?
That's why I said I'm gonna keep reading.
All right, go ahead.
Mr. Watson's pattern of conduct is more egregious than any before reviewed by the NFL. So to your point, out of all the shit that's went on in the NFL, this is the most egregious reviewed ever. Wow. Recognizing that the only discipline mentioned in the CBA is fine and suspension, I nevertheless believe that it's appropriate for Mr. Watson to limit his massage therapy to club-directed sessions and club-approved massage therapy for the duration of his career, and so impose this mandate as a condition to his reinstatement. This proves that at least on the NFL side, they saw some shit that was like, this ain't good. And she agreed. Mr. Watson is to have no adverse involvement with law enforcement and must not commit any additional violations of the policy. Mike, let's get to the first bullet point.
Okay.
Non-violent sexual assault.
Okay.
Rape is violent. The grabbing of a woman is violent. The grabbing of a clothing, anything like that is violent, Mike.
Okay.
I told y'all what this is. Basically, he was beating off in front of these women. He was violent to himself. He wasn't violent to them. That's how I read it.
Okay.
That's literally the only thing in this where it's non-violent.
So this means that the actions that Deshaun Watson was taking during some of these massage sessions are not against the law. But
No. It's not saying that it's not against the law. It's not saying it. It's just that we found these things to be egregious. But it's up to the law to do that part.
And they found him. He didn't get charged with anything. So
but
pretty much what I'm getting.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me finish. Let me finish. It's up to the law to do those things. So take it back to what I said a couple of episodes ago. And I mean it. Even now, it's hard for a woman to go in jail and be like, yo, this dude, I was massaging this dude. He got hard. He was like, grab it. And he beat off in front of me. It's hard for you to be like, oh, well, let me go arrest him. I don't know how that works. because
he didn't touch any women, right?
Allegedly, reportedly, he didn't touch him. They touched him. He gave him a massage. But I will say this: it's alleged, reported, all of those things. But in my mind, I'm like, is this what happened? Now, again, he didn't get arrested for anything. But I'm also looking at law enforcement like, yo, it's hard for us to take this seriously and spend taxpayer money on this. And if a woman feels like she was assaulted, you got to look at that. But from there, because this is a unique situation, ain't heard no shit like this. It's weird as hell. A dude get 24 massages. Well, 24 women say this is what he did, and he had 66 massage therapists within a certain time. That's weirdo behavior in itself. But the NFL and the independent arbitrator had to look at what they saw and was like, fam, you wild out here, fam.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Did he have, with the 24 women that filed suits, did he engage in any type of sexual contact with any of these women?
It was
that was consensual. With the 24 women, the 24 women that 25 or whatever that filed suits against him, did he have sex or any type of sexual contact, consensual sexual contact with any of them?
I think it was one that said that he tried to force himself, like force her on him to give him more sex or some shit. I think it was one of those cases that said that. I didn't hear anything like he pinned them down and raped them and anything like that. For the most part, from what I read, was massage. He came up in there either naked or with a small towel on his waist. Some cases he got naked, some cases he got the towel on. He turned around, he got them, he was stomach first, and then he turned around, and his thing got hard. Like, all of this is paused, by the way. But
what I'm trying to figure out,
he got hard. He was like, grab it. And they was like, no. And he was like, fuck it. Yakka, yakka, yappa, yappa.
But I'm trying to understand, like,
how
do you do that with 24 different women? How is that behavior? How are you behaving that way with 24 different women?
Because people allow you to do that, fam. Look, I let me tell this story on the pod, and the names will not be revealed. But I had a homie who went over a shorty house, and he pulled out on her and was like, yo, let's have sex. And she said, nah. And he tells us that he tried to do these certain things. He did these certain things to himself to get her to jump on or do something. She didn't. He ended up finishing and he went home. In our demo, that was weirdo behavior. You lame and you nasty. Cause she had went to the police, and said this, and this is did he touch you? No. Did you stand there? Did you sit there? And did you tell him to stop? I continuously told him to stop. And he finished. Yeah. I'll be honest with you, Mike. I don't know if you can arrest somebody for that. Other than is it indecent exposure? I don't know. What I will tell you it is weirdo behavior. It is very much weirdo behavior to do that to at least 24 women, allegedly. Is it something you could go to jail for? I don't even know if that's inclusive.
When you
I
soon as you
think
say
it's
the moment you question the fact that if you could go to jail for it, that shit is just funny to me.
right. 'Cause in my
Bro, you don't have,
eyes,
you can't, bro. You
in
can't.
my eyes, look, in my eyes, were they assaulted? No. But was it some extreme weirdo behavior? Yes. Is it indecent? Yeah. But is it because it's all about what you are investigating for. And if they were investigating for sexual assault, I don't know if that is.
I mean,
I don't. If you were to ask me what I would put it as, I would put that as sexual assault. I don't want nobody. Look, even thinking from a man's perspective, Mike, we straight men. If I came over to your house and was like, oh, I'm horny. You beating my ass. You gonna beat my ass. Fuck you doing this. Fuck you doing in my house doing some shit like this. I don't know if you're gonna call the police and be like, yo, officer, this guy's beating off in my house. I don't know. Or you gonna wait till I leave and be like, man, I had a man in my house and he started beating off out of nowhere. It's indecent exposure. And I know I'm saying a lot of reckless shit. I'm really just trying to process all of this because I think I will never take up for Deshaun Watson. Let's just put it like this. I will never take up for this weirdo behavior that Buddy ass did. I will not take up for it. What I am though is what I am, as somebody's having a conversation on this podcast about it, is reading what was said and he did that with multiple women and saying to myself and saying that the NFL said that this was the most egregious that they've ever gotten compared to everything that they've gotten that we know and don't know. And she said this was the most egregious and he only got 6. I'm going off of what she said compared to what we know. If she don't say none of this and just say, I'm giving him 6 games and I give him 6 games because, wow, I think what he did is wrong. This is the precedent that the NFL set. All right, 6 games. All right, cool. I don't agree with it, but cool. Or I agree with it. It's cool. It's the explanation that she gave, which leads me to believe that sometimes you probably just got to shut the fuck up. Because did she diss the NFL? I'm like, hey, they trying to rectify some shit. You know what I'm saying? All right, cool. That's cool. But but then when you read the rest of the shit and you say, and she said that she also said this, which I was like, yo, this is even wilder. Dude did premeditated predatory behavior. Mike,
when you use the word predator, when you use that word, that's
predatory.
Predatory.
So that means he premeditated, which means he was on Instagram like, oh yeah, I already know what I'm gonna do with this one. And then he got the chick, and then he did the predatory behavior. Bruh. I'm confused. And I'm mainly confused this also is she said that the NFL is trying to proactively do some shit. But in a sense, as a woman, she could have set the precedent. Which, let me go back to what I said before, Mike, for the archives. The NFL wants to give him, reportedly, the NFL wants to give him a year suspension, and a definite suspension with him reinstating. He has to go through treatment. And if he does the year in treatment, it's no fine. So no fine, a year indefinite suspension, and treatment. Or less than a year, so maybe 12 games, because I also hear that they don't want him to go to Houston to play, because Houston and the Browns play. So they don't want to go there. So 12 game suspension, which I mentioned. I don't know if they want him to go to Houston and play up in Houston. Gee, that might be wild. But 12 games, a big treatment, and a bigger fine. Probably the biggest fine allowed in this situation. I told y'all on this pod, the NFL wants a definite suspension, him to go to treatment, do some outpatient stuff after that. Then, we'll think about bringing you back. He do the interview with Maria Taylor. He do a mea culpa. He cry. He play by week 13. I've said that a couple of pods.
And I still think that that's going to happen, minus the Maria Taylor thing. I don't know if they do the interview, but it might happen. I don't know. Shit, you on the right track. But I don't think he's going to get indefinite. I don't think he's going to get suspended the whole season. I think he's going to get at least 12. I think I could see 6 more games being tacked on with the treatment and, maybe a small fine or if no fine at all.
I think, the NFL did appeal. And with the appealing, and then the NFLPA is jumping in. And
they already been in. Well, I think they gotta file like they gotta file whatever they're gonna file, right?
Well, so, basically what
they're gonna sue. They're suing now.
Well, they're talking about lawsuits and that thing. I don't think a lawsuit is gonna happen. I don't think a lawsuit is gonna happen, but I say that to say there's another independent arbitrator who's going to oversee the case. Somebody in a former judge or assistant state's attorney or something like that in New Jersey. He's going to oversee the case. So it's not going to be Roger Goodell because it could either be Roger Goodell or it could be this second independent person. So it's going to go to the second independent person. And this independent person looks at the appeal and then he gives his thoughts on the appeal. And then they go from there. I believe that it's not going to be a year. I think it's going to be the 12 games. I think they're going to eventually negotiate. And a lawsuit might happen, but they're going to put something together after this independent person comes through, since it's not going to be Roger Goodell. And I think it's going to be a 12-game suspension with a big fine and treatment. It's clear that based off of what the NFL said, he need to talk to somebody.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He need to talk to somebody. I don't think he's going to be suspended for the whole year. The players' union is cool with the 6. Deshaun Watson's people are not cool with the 6. They don't think he should be suspended at all. And here's the other thing where I would strongly disagree with. Now, mind you, I ain't got no dog in the fight. I'll just go by reading something and then giving my thoughts there. So reading from what I read with the woman, that man should be suspended more than 6 games based off of what she said. And I truly believe that if they really wanted to show that the independent arbitrator is ruling on something and really saying that this is what we do, it would have been more than 6 games. But it sounded like to me, she's just wanted to stick it to the NFL. It was like, hey, this is y'all used to doing.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that if the arbitrator would have gave Deshaun anything over like 10 games, you think the NFL would have stood on that shit? Or you think they still would have appealed?
I think if it was anything more than 10 games, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
Okay.
I don't think we would have been having this conversation right now. Because they would have been like, all right, it ain't a year, but you know what? We got that with a fine. If it would have been a year, if it would have been the year treatment of money, they would have been cool. But 6 games for all of the shit that she just said, fam. Like,
can the arbitrator rule on treatment? Because the arbitrator ruled that he can only get massages from Cleveland Brown personnel.
Yeah, she ruled on that.
The arbitrator said like treatment needs to be given to.
Yeah.
Like, or is that the arbitrator's decision or that's the NFL's decision?
That's the arbitrator's decision.
The arbitrator could have threw that in there too. Didn't throw the treatment in there.
The arbitrator could have said that, he's been suspended for 8 games and he must undergo treatment at a sexual rehab facility, blah, 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 blah. I think it would have been 10 to 12 games. The NFL would have been straight on that because they want double digits anyway.
Yeah.
Now, here's what I was about to say. All right. You got a lot of people that's out there that's talking about, well, he didn't play last year, so let that man play.
Yeah,
he didn't. No. It ain't even just that he got paid, Mike. He didn't play because he said that he was not going to play another down with the Houston Texans.
Facts.
That's why he didn't play a game.
Yeah.
He didn't play the game because he was like, I'm suspending myself.
Yeah.
No.
If he had the
He's-
opportunity to go out there and play, he wouldn't have played.
If they would have put him on he was on the active roster
he was
too.
healthy scratch.
He was inactive. He was a healthy scratch.
Yeah.
If that man would have been like, you know what, you know what, let's go ahead and play this season. He would have played that season.
He
didn't want to play that season. He said, fuck y'all, I'm not playing for y'all. That's why he didn't play. This wasn't no self-imposed suspension. That's like me getting mad at my wife and saying, you know what? I don't want to go to the movies. I don't want to go to the movies. But she going to the movies every week. I don't want to go to the movies. That's what he did essentially. Now, I don't want to go to play. I don't want to play the game. He said that he did not want to play for the Houston Texans. That was it. That was all. It wasn't nothing about anything, but he said, I'm not playing for this team no more. And he stood on his convictions. If he never said that, he's playing. But not only did he not play, he got paid. So anytime you can play and still get your money,
taking that all day.
Taking that all day. What are you talking about? He said he didn't want to play for the Houston Texans no more. They reportedly almost sent them to Miami. They was talking to Carolina. None of them things happened.
Falcons was the front runner. We thought he was going to Atlanta.
That was in the offseason. I'm talking about during the season. During the season, they reportedly talked to Miami and they reportedly talked to the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
But if he would have got traded to Miami or Carolina during last season,
he would have
played. Guess who would have played?
He would have played.
He wouldn't have been like, oh, I got traded to Carolina, but you know what?
I'm going to sit this one out.
I'm going to sit this out. I'm not healthy.
Yeah.
I'm not healthy. I'm not this and I'm that, and I'm not playing. He didn't tear his ACL. He didn't tear no shoulder. He didn't have no season-ending injury for him not to play. He didn't play because he did not want to play for the Texans. So that rules out that. He did not say, man, you know what? I was beating off in front of these women. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to play this year. Thank y'all. Talk to y'all later. So it was not that at all. And the NFLPA knows that, and the NFL knows that. What this simply is reading what she said, G. I don't know how he got 6. I don't know. You tell me this is the most egregious shit that I've seen, that the NFL has seen. I'm like, damn, I'll see y'all in 2 years.
2 years. 2 years? Even without him being indicted for no crime. Still 2 years.
Hey.
Not having a handcuff on him. Didn't get handcuffed, hasn't been sat in the courtroom in front of a judge on a criminal charge at all.
And I feel what you're saying. It's only because what she said in there.
So you're pretty much saying that shit was worded poorly. Based off the what she
very much so. She shouldn't have said shit. Because to your point, and shouts out to DG, because I was just about to bring it up. Trevor Bauer was suspended and he was never convicted or charged for a crime. He was investigated. They said we ain't got enough evidence to charge him with anything. And Major League Baseball was like, we see you next year, G.
You in 2 years, motherfucker.
See you in 2 years, fam. Like, yo, I never got charged with anything.
Yeah.
I never got charged with anything, G. And y'all took me off the field. My team won the World Series. And y'all keeping me off the field, and I've never been charged or found guilty of nothing. Major League Baseball told that white man, hey, bye. Football, same thing. I've never been charged or convicted of anything. The grand jury said, no, we straight.
Mm-hmm.
The independent arbitrator says, hey, this is egregious. The most egregious we ever seen. But we just gonna give you 6. It was worded terribly because anytime you tell somebody, you tell us, the public, that this was the most egregious brought to the NFL and that Deshaun Watson practiced premeditated predatory behavior. Fam, you think egregious sounds bad? You tell somebody premeditated predatory behavior? That means we were sitting up there with the Stevie J joint, rubbing our hands and saying, I'm gonna beat my beat in front of that bitch tonight.
When you use egregious and predator in the same sentence, when I see the word predator, I'm thinking of any person that's a criminal.
I'm thinking it's to catch a predator. I'm thinking it's to catch a predator.
Yeah.
I just walked up into somebody's crib and dropped something in some juice, and Chris Hansen said, "Hey, how you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, hey, I think I'm in the wrong house. I'll talk to y'all later." Yeah. That's what I'm thinking of predatory behavior, premeditated, which means you knew what you was on when you hit send on that email or on that text or on that DM to respond.
To book the massage.
To book the massage therapist.
Yeah.
You knew. So again, I am not arguing that man should get more than 6 games. I'm saying, based off of what she said, that's how much you give him? That's how much you give him? That's how much.
Definitely,
that's how much.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, fam. It's like, based off of what you just said, man, you basically just was, fam.
It's kind of like what she's saying is what he did was cool, but it was egregious. It was a little. What he did wasn't criminal, but it was still wild at the same time.
And what is not like, and even though I know I'm joking around, fam, what is non-violent sexual assault? I'm serious. What is non-violent sexual assault?
Did she say assault? Wait, I asked you this. She said
sexual conduct. Excuse me.
I want to make sure assault is assault.
My bad. I don't want to be like, I don't want to get sued like Cardi B did, old girl. Yeah. I apologize. Not assault. What is non-violent sexual conduct?
Non-violent sexual conduct is everything but rape. That's my opinion of it.
No. We're done. We both gave our opinions. We're done with that. What is non-violent sexual conduct? She has to say what that is. She got to. That's opening up Pandora's box.
We need clarification.
Because we are fam. Look, now is me being serious. I'm gonna be serious for a minute.
So you said we need to hand her back her book report and she needs to revise it. Yeah, you're gonna have to some mishaps, some corrections that need
to be made. Corrections, G. It's some corrections. Because to me, she took shots at both of them. Yeah. But she hit the shield more than she hit the player. And that's cool. But she should have shut up on the player. Yeah. She should have shut up on the player because you said it was the most egregious ever reviewed by the NFL. In the NFL, I guarantee you reviews a lot of wild stuff.
Yeah.
That they got a rule on.
For sure.
From assault, physical assault, sexual assault, steroids, a lot of things.
The weed
at the time, because Josh Gordon gets suspended every 8 months.
Yep.
Then you get this right here to say not only that, but in the report you say premeditated predatory behavior, and that this was the most egregious. But I'm only giving them 6.
And it was non-violent sexual.
And it was non-violent sexual conduct.
Yeah, she was all over.
What is non-violent sexual conduct? The only thing, I mean, we've already talked about the only thing I could think of. We are talking about everything that you could think of. But what is it in her eyes that made her go, he ain't raped her, but he did some freaky shit. We got to know the freaky shit, man. We got Sue L. Robinson. We got to know the freaky stuff. We have to know the freaky behavior that made you go, well, you know what? He don't deserve no year, you know what I'm saying? But we give him a 6. We give him the minimum.
Maybe it wasn't as bad as we think everything, you know what I'm saying, it is. Maybe he didn't do the things that we accusing him of.
Mike, there's people that thinks that beating off in front of a woman unwarningly is not violent, not deviant behavior.
Yeah.
Like what? Like, fam, what is it? What is, because I know they got the reports on ESPN and was like, how in the hell do we talk about this? She said nonviolent sexual conduct. What is that? Marcus Spears like, hey, bro, I don't know what that is. Well, you know, hey, say, bro, I don't know what it is, but we all got it in our mind. What is that?
For the freaky people, a documentary is probably gonna get made about this shit, bro.
The 30 for 30 on Deshaun Watson is gonna be wild.
Nah, this can't make ESPN. This gotta go like Netflix.
Oh, it's gonna make ESPN.
This ain't go. This not a 30 for 30 right here. Bro. It's graphics.
It's gonna make ESPN, and they gonna put the highlight on all of the joints. They gonna black out the names, but they gonna highlight all of the joints. And you're going to see all of that stuff, man. And you're going to be like, damn, that's what they said up in there?
This probably going to be on some Showtime or something, bro. This too graphic for ESPN.
Look, man, at the end of the day, man, I hope that black man ain't do none of this, fam. But it just seems like to me, based off of wording, I'm only going off of the wording, fam. And even his wording when he says that he didn't do this and how he feels bad, like, there might be something in him was like, man, I ain't know beating off in front of you was gonna be this bad, man. I apologize, but I did not rape you.
My man said he has the utmost respect for all women. He said he ain't never did anything with any of those women that wasn't consensual. That's what he said. Yeah. Those words that came out of his mouth. Now, if he did partake in any egregious behavior, you know what I'm saying? Let's hope that man gets some help.
And I'm not a woman, Mike. I'm not. And here's the other part of that. I'm not a woman, fam.
Yeah,
I'm not a woman, so I don't know how I react if some woman just took off her pants and just was like, "Let me play with myself real quick." I mean, what? Like, what are you doing? Like,
no, it's different though. No, you not. I'm gonna like do your thing.
No, it depends, Mike. Mike, it depends on the woman. Mike, it depends on the woman.
It depends on the woman, obviously.
It depends on the woman. Let's be real.
We're gonna say, look, you handle your business. Do what you gotta do.
Holly Berry did some shit like that. I'm like, hey, can I watch? You know what I'm saying? Some crackhead down the street do that shit. You gonna be like, no, that's sexual assault, no. No.
Definitely depends on the situation.
No, and I'm not and for real, I'm not trivializing these things because if these women feel like that they were had in any way, we got to take that in consideration, and then they got to come to the conclusion that this was wrong. Just because he wasn't charged with anything, that does not mean it didn't take place. It just means that the evidence was inconclusive, therefore they can't charge them with anything. There's no law enforcement official that came out and said this did not happen. Because if it was anything like that did not happen, and they have the evidence that it did not happen, they would have came and said, no, this did not happen. They all came and said, this is inconclusive. And I'm sorry, reading between the lines to me and not being on this legal and TV mumbo jumbo thing. If you read between the lines and you really think like where you from, to me, it sounds like that Deshaun Watson was a little freaky with himself and these women wasn't cool with that. And they was like, yo, this is weirdo behavior. Do you go to jail for weirdo behavior? Do you get suspended for a year for weirdo behavior when it comes to like this? Not sexual assault. I'm talking about the weirdo behavior that we've explained in this podcast. I don't know because I'm not a law enforcement person, so I don't know how it works. But at the same time, I say it again, it's hard for me, and maybe I'm just not, I'm just a skeptic. It's hard for me to believe that a police officer would take non-sexual conduct the way that we've explained it today, seriously, it's hard for me to believe that. And that's why these women probably won't get the justice that they believe.
Before we move on, let me ask you a question. So did Roger Goodell sit down with Deshaun Watson? Was that like when as part of the investigation?
Yeah.
Was like
they met.
So does when Roger Goodell, whoever decides on this, what's going on, man? What's going on?
Nah, this work stuff. Oh,
okay.
shit.
So based off the conversation that Roger Goodell had, his investigation with Deshaun Watson, if he's the one that has to make the decision, do you think he takes what he investigated with Deshaun Watson into consideration, or is it just going to be strictly based off public outcry of the decision that he laid hands down on Deshaun Watson? Where do you see, you know what I'm saying, Roger Goodell's decision falling from? Because like you said, Deshaun Watson sat down with the man, talked to him, and Deshaun Watson, I'm pretty sure Deshaun Watson explained everything in detail of what, you know, happened with these women and told his side of the story, told his truth or whatever. So is he gonna, does Roger Goodell take that into consideration when handing down this, you know what I'm saying, suspension that he might lay down based off his? Where do we see that going?
Well, yeah, Deshaun Watson met with league officials and everything during the investigation. So yeah, he definitely had a conversation with Roger Goodell and everybody involved. Other than that, man, I don't know. And again, it's more about how do you see this? Will
public outcry affect the appeal?
Oh yeah. That if it wasn't no public outcry, we wouldn't even have them appeal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They wouldn't have appealed it. It would have been, all right, fuck it, 6 games, all right, cool. But as soon as it happened, you had everybody on TV. It was like, this was all women that was on TV was like, yo, this is preposterous and everything. You had men that was carefully wording their statements so they won't offend anybody or anything like that. You had everybody on Twitter that was appalled, and you had other people on Twitter that was like, he never got charged with anything, yada, 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 yada. And that's why I'm exclusively going by the words that was in the lady's statement. And those words are bad for both the NFL and Deshaun Watson. There's no way to put it. But when I look at Deshaun Watson, there's no way Deshaun Watson can look at the words for that independent arbitrator and be like, you know what? It's cool to only got 6 games. I know he probably looked at that shit and was like, man, what the fuck is she talking about? That's why his team was like, no, he shouldn't get no games.
Yeah.
So I get it. Like, but man, this is the way it was presented, like the way she worded it, fam. It wasn't worded to look like 6 games. It got worded like to look like dude is a predator, and he must sit down and he must get treatment.
Yeah.
So if the NFL is saying, just off of those words, if the NFL is saying a year suspension, treatment, or 12 games, treatment and a big fine, based off of the words of the arbitrator, I'm with the NFL. Because she didn't say he ain't do it. She didn't say that law enforcement feels like he didn't do this either. She didn't say none of that. She said egregious and premeditated predatory behavior. I'm going off of her words, not nobody else's. That's wild, fam. It's nasty based off of what she said. She is nasty. Speaking of the NFL, man, before we get out of here, football starts tonight. We're recording on Thursday today, so football starts tonight. Las Vegas Raiders. Yeah, a little preseason action. The Las Vegas Raiders versus the Jacksonville Chicago Jaguars. Trevor, what's my name? Lawrence and Travis Etienne are not going to be playing today. I don't know if Derek Carr or
Devontae
Adams are going to see some time more. I don't know how long their start is going to be on, but it's the first preseason game. Normally, you'll get a drive out of them, but I'm excited to see football tonight. How about you?
You already know, man. I always tell my wife too, like football is my favorite sport to watch. It's my favorite sport to watch. Love watching football. Football season is definitely, a fun time when it comes to just rooting for your favorite teams, or whether it's fantasy football, or whether it's betting on FanDuel, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying, you love about football season. All of those things factor in, at least for me personally. But overall, though, yeah, I'm definitely loving some football. Baseball is cracking right now too, but definitely, definitely excited for this football season. And yeah, Hall of Fame game. Obviously I watch for a little bit. I'm not gonna watch the whole game. I definitely want to see the first couple snaps and first couple drives to see who's out there, see who could possibly get scooped up in fantasy football, who gonna be looking elite this year. We'll see. I know we're not gonna get much out of, the first preseason game of the season, but definitely just excited just to see these players hit the gridiron. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's where we at with it.
Man, look.
I don't know who's gonna win. I don't know, what's gonna I'm happy to see some football, bang.
Hey man, it's gonna be good enough for me.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I like real American football. I am ready for some football. I'm ready for this season.
For sure.
We're talking about our predictions for the season coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I see a lot of stuff going on with your team. James Washington broke his foot.
Yeah.
They talking about is Zeke better than Tony Pollard and vice versa?
Yeah.
All of the pressure on your team.
Yeah.
And the improvements of the Philadelphia Eagles at the very least. So y'all got that. They telling us that the Bears is going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL.
I think you agree with that, don't you?
Nah. Without going into any details, just saving all the details, and just looking at what I'm seeing from practice and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just say this: the Bears won 6 games last year and 7 games last year with terrible coaching and a terrible culture. The coaching and the culture were terrible. And we got what looks to be a better coach because everybody on that team basically loves him. Okay. We got the same issues. And the one thing that I've seen is that they said the defense is playing fast. Robert Quinn, like they saying that the ends look fast and strong. And that the defensive backfield looks better than it has been in the last couple of years. And if you threw a deep ball on the Bears, it was a touchdown. Okay. But they said that the rookie Gordon on one side is looking good. It's a nice little battle for the nickel that's going on. The second round pick, Jaquan Brisker, is a highlight for camp. Roquan Smith is not there because he wants to get paid, and the Bears should pay that man. But the offensive line is like Lucas Patrick. He broke his thumb, so he's sitting out a bit. They got a rookie at center, and they're switching around their offensive line, so that is an issue right there. With that being said, I heard worse coming out the last 2 years, and we heard things about the coaching, and they won 7 and 6 games. The schedule we have is favorable. That's what I would say. That it's favorable. I'm not saying that I'm not predicting a playoff or anything like that, but I don't think that the Bears will be one of the worst teams in the NFL. Like I don't think it's going to be the Houston Texans and the Chicago Bears fighting for the #1 pick.
Okay.
But that's all I'll say for right now.
For sure.
That I don't think it's going to be as bad as people doing, because if you look at the Cincinnati Bengals last year during the offseason, they said that Jamar Chase couldn't catch a NFL football.
Yep.
And he was dropping passes all through the preseason.
Which he was.
Which he was. They talk shit about Joe Burrow being in front of that piss poor offensive line, which it was a piss poor offensive line. And they really didn't give any love to that defense that the Cincinnati Bengals had. They basically said they got Joe Mixon that could run the ball, and they're good at that. If Joe Burrow can stand up, he will improve off of the season before where he was before he got hurt. And then they end up being in the Super Bowl. So
end up being your other team.
And they end up being my other team. So, who they? So all I'm saying is that the NFL is one of those leagues where anything can happen. So I'll talk about those anythings, and I think that's going to happen in the next couple of weeks.
For sure. But I'm definitely excited for some football. Hopefully, I mean, if Derek Carr and Devontae Adams do get out there and do a couple drives, go out there and play a couple drives, I'm definitely excited to see what that combination is going to be like. So
Yeah.
definitely excited for that. And yep, but overall, yes, sir, football is back. But like you said, we'll get more in depth into, like, you know what I'm saying, our predictions and all of that stuff going forward once the preseason rolls along. You know, we're gonna see, hopefully, no, we don't see any significant injuries happen to any you know, key players for anybody's football teams, anything like that. You hate to see that in preseason, but you know, these guys are gonna go out there and they're gonna play hard. You know, everybody's people like that trying to get spots on the team and you know, other things like that. So yeah, definitely. But overall, definitely looking forward to this NFL season. And yep, preseason action tonight. Let's get to it.
Yeah. Any hot takes before we dip?
Nah, I ain't got no hot takes, but
I got two.
go ahead. What you got?
I said both of them really in the pod. I think that Deshaun Watson is going to miss 10 to 12 games.
Okay.
And I believe that Brittany Griner is going to do a year and a half in prison.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough right there.
Yeah,
That's tough.
we just gotta pray and hope that this government is on the point. And a lot of people was like, man, if Trump was in office, this wouldn't be happening. And Trump came out and said, man, she one where brought drugs over there. Shit, we shouldn't be trying to get shit. That's what Trump said.
Damn.
So let's move out of that. So go ahead and end us off, G.
Hey, yo, before I end this off, yeah, hey, I'm about to start season 4 of Ozark.
Oh, okay.
We lit. I didn't had a few days to catch up on the first 3 seasons, and yeah, I don't know if it's top 5, but I'm fucking with it. It kind of started off slow for me, slightly, but
Yeah,
first season started off kind of slow, but this shit is like very, very fire. Shout out to Marty Bird and Ruth Langmore. But yeah, but I just started. Watched the first episode of season 4. I should be done with that in, you know, a couple days. So I give a review or a quick review on Ozark.
And I should be finished with New York Undercover by next week.
My man's going crazy.
So I'm not gonna go in too deep about New York Undercover until I'm finished with the last season, which was terrible.
Yeah. I'm gonna get in tune with Better Call Saul because I love Breaking Bad, and my mom is the one that put me on Breaking Bad. And when I watch Breaking Bad, it's in my top 5. And she told me about Better Call Saul too. Like, Better Call Saul is the prequel to Breaking Bad. So I'm definitely gonna catch up on that. I'm not gonna be caught up by the time this season is over. I know this is the last season of Better Call Saul, but Better Call Saul is definitely on the list of on the binge watch list. So yeah, I'm gonna get in tune with that. And hot take. Hey, Beyonce put out one of the best albums of the year. That's a hot take right there. It's probably one of the best albums of the year, and Khalees played herself, and yeah.
Yeah, it's so much stuff that was going on.
We don't even got to get into that, but yeah, Beyonce album is fire. I know we didn't get a chance to review it, but it's fire. We just gonna leave it at that on that. But other than that, and we out of here, man. Y'all already know, man. Rate, like, subscribe. Some Dude Podcast. We are on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe at The What Digital. Make sure you can like us, like the videos on there. Make sure you drop comments on there. Apple Podcasts, you can review and drop a comment there as well. Follow us on IG at Some Dude Pod, at Twitter at Some Dude Pod, at Mike B_CHR, at JR Bang. Like us on Facebook at Some Dude. Join the community. Hashtag Some Dude Pod. Invite other people into the community. Hashtag Some Dude Pod, so we could get these hot takes and debates cracking in the group. It's been kind of quiet in the group, man. We need a post to go viral real quick in the group, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how we do it in Some Dude Pod. And Some Dude Pod Fantasy Football. You know, we locked in. Bang. You ready? You ready?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Let's make a show, man.
I gotta win this one. Though.
You gotta win. Yeah. I got 2. We got 2 leagues cracking for Some Dude Pod, both 12-man leagues. You know, the payouts and buy-ins, all that shit is posted and things like that. Y'all already know. So we're gonna have some fun there. But other than that, yeah, we out of here, man. We good. Peace out.